Hi there, how you doing today? Today we're going to be working on an iPhone 4 GSM model, AT&T T-Mobile. We're going to be doing a conversion kit. As you can see, this one already has one on it, but the screen we got in was a fluke. It doesn't work. So we're going to change the color on this iPhone 4. As you can see, it was gold. And the owner decided they want it to be a nice and shiny red. All the parts I'll be using for my conversions, and most of where I'll get all my parts, is from a new company I found. It's called Flashtec LLC. Real good people, real good customer service before and after the sale. Alright, in order to do this conversion, we're going to need some tools. First of all, we'll need a pentalobe screwdriver for the two screws on the bottom, which are here and here. Need your flathead and your number 0 Phillips. These are my three main tools, and every now and then you may need a little pry tool, and this little thing right here comes in so much handy. And it's flexible and it does the job. Works great. So let's get started. First thing you want to do is make sure the phone is powered off. You don't ever want to really go into one because there could be a glitch and you could fry the motherboard. So let's remove the pentalobe screws. And let's set them to the side. Now, push up, it slides up, comes right off, and exposes the inside of the phone. Now, what we want to do here first, right here's the battery connector. We want to undo the battery first. No power, no danger. Gotta be real easy. I use my thumbnail to get right up under the edge here, or to be on the safe side, you can use the corner of a pry tool. Just pop, and there she goes. And now the phone has no power. Once that's done, normally on most models there'll be a little tab here. This one looks like it's been worked on quite a bit, so it don't have the little pull-up tab that it should have to help you get the battery. So you'll need a tool, something like this, to help you get the battery out. And just put it in there, and the battery comes right out, like so. Set it to the side. Now, where I've always started, and find it best to start at, right here in the center, you take out these two screws. This is your charge port cable that allows the phone to charge and receive data to and from the computer for iTunes. And on your screws, what I normally do, I do a layout pattern. I lay them out in like the shape of the motherboard. I lay them like so, that way I know where they go. Then take your fingernail, or sometimes if you're like me and you chew them off, get your little pry tool, pop the little thing up. Some of them will be really sticky, and just take your finger and run and just easily do it. And when you get down here to the bottom, be a little careful because it's mostly glued pretty good right here, and you have to give it a little force. You don't want to give it too much force because you can rip this flex cable. It's really delicate and it can be ripped. So the next thing we want to do down here is the speaker assembly. Got 2 screws, one here, and we want to remove them. Like so. Set them in our pattern over here. There's 1. There's 2. Now these screws are the same size. If you mix them up, it'll be okay. Now down here on this right here, this little part you see right here, that's your service antenna, more or less. This is what allows you to get AT&T. Without this hooked up, you don't get AT&T. And so you want to take either a fingernail, or again, you can use your pry tool. Go just on the edge, and it should pry right off, and there it is. It moves up out the way like that. Now we can remove our speaker assembly, and which is also the antenna right here. This little piece and the wire and all is the antenna. Lay that right there. And next we'll move up the board, which will have a screw here. There should be a white sticker here. That's your water damage indicator. And I find if you'll take on the dot itself and just kind of center it and press your screwdriver down, it'll make the indentation and allow you to unscrew the screw. Most times. This one here is giving a little bit of problems. Well, whoever put this, I don't think I've ever had one this tough. This is a good thing. Now you get to see in case you happen to have you one. Well, if that's the case, let's try another. What's it? Let's see. Next thing we want to do is the wire mesh for the earpiece. You want to put that on. What I do makes it a little bit easier. Take this little circle, this little spot here on the phone, put it in place like so. Then next we're going to remove this film. Now, when removing this film, it's very important to, when you pull this up, you just don't want to grab it and just rip it off, because I've had times myself where this pull underneath, this is the real mirror shiny part underneath, will catch a hold of the sticky, and if it peels up or comes up in any way, you're going to more or less get a halo around your screen, and it ain't going to look right. So what I do, I take my little pry tool or a little flathead screwdriver, either way, go under the tab, just lift ever so gently, and if it looks like it's just going to come up real nice and gently, I walk it up, ease it off, just like so. Alright. Now you want to be very careful on this part. These here are very sensitive to bendage and breakage. So what you want to do, you want to try to bend these as less as possible, especially on the install. So what you want to do, you want to do a roundness thing, like the roundness of your finger. Just give them a little roundness right here. That way they stick out just a little bit for you. And you're going to hook it right here at the top. See how the L sticks out? So you're going to take it, stick the little hook in first, followed by now you just want to guide it in, grab a hold, and just let it gently walk it in place. Gently, ever so. You don't want to force it. If you have to force it, something ain't right and it's caught somewhere. So what you want to do is just rock it ever so gently, lining your prongs up on the corners. Got one side down, the other side's going down. Make sure they're both even. Make sure the digitizer is not shorter than the thing. And so we're in our spot. Now you're going to walk down towards the home button. And voila. And it's in its seat now. And notice your wire mesh is in place. See there? Wire mesh. Now you want to turn it over and you inspect. Everything looks good, nothing's bent or pinched. Now here's the key right here. As you push down with your thumb, you want to round this back to you. You want to go down and around like this, because this is the way it's going to set inside there. Give it its natural flow right there. That way do not bend it in such of a 90 or crease it whatsoever. So now, then when you press down on it, it should just naturally do like so. Alright, now they're all in. You have your screen secured. Now we can put your vibration motor back in. Remember, the long screw goes to the top hole. Just slaps right in there, and you just screw in your second screw. Use here. Make sure it's lined up over the hole. Sometimes when you twist it to tighten it, it twists the vibrator motor and it'll cover the hole. So line it back up over the hole, or you'll be poking at it and getting nowhere. Alright, our next agenda is we can put the motherboard in. Here's the trick to the motherboard. Now, what you want to do, take it into an angle first, go in behind your 3 up here. While it's laid flat, you're going to twist it into pushing down at the same time, twist and pull it over to you. and you want it to be, it'll sit right in place once you hit the spot. So if it ain't in, you lift, twist out, and bring it back in, and just keep repeating that until you feel it lock into place. So and once it locks into place, just like, sometimes you'll have to lift the back up a good bit, and there it goes. Now, and the way to know it's went into place, right along here. Let's see, right along here, along this line. See how the motherboard touches where your motherboard screw goes in right here? Your motherboard should be just like laying across the bottom of this. If it looks propped up anywhere, or another way to tell is to pick it up and look down it like this. If you see the motherboard protruding any, it's not all the way in. So check it one good time to make sure everything is seated. Once that's in place, then you take your screw, the one just above the charger port goes there, and this will hold the motherboard in place for you while you assemble the rest of it. Now, your next screw you want to put in there is that funny looking screw at the top. It goes in this very top corner hole right here, and you want to lightly get it started. Then you're going to need your flathead to finish, because the Phillips just won't grab it good enough to tighten it. Just twist nice and slow, and you'll feel it get real tight, and just give it a little, don't torque it, just a little snug turn. And there you go, that's locked in place. Now we can begin to put our 3 cables. They should lay pretty much back. You don't have to put much force on them. They'll lay, and you'll feel them under your finger snap into place. Sometimes you'll feel a snap, and sometimes you won't. Sometimes and if you push down and they don't come back up, that means they're in their spot where they're supposed to be. And sometimes you get difficult ones. I felt that one snap on my finger. Just give a good brief inspection. And if you ever get it all back together and the power button worked before you done it, and you tried the power button and the power button don't turn the phone on, more than likely the little cable here come up or wasn't snapped down properly, and that's a troubleshoot tip. Now on this, you want to just round it down. This is your LCD cable. Kindly line it up, and like I said, you'll feel it snap under your finger. This is the digitizer. Line it up. You'll feel it snap also. Give it a side inspection, look down on it, and it should just look flat, it's clean. Then you take your camera. The camera's got a little stem on the side right here. That little stem goes just underneath them cables there. It rests, and you just push it in place. It falls in its little hole, and your flex cable snaps right onto the board. Easy, easy. Alright, that said, now we can move to the bottom of the phone. Put in the speaker assembly. You want this little hook right here goes up underneath the motherboard like this, like up under your nail, like that. So you want to go just under the board in a tilt manner, and you want to tilt it inwards and push down at the same time. These little prongs. Now, while holding it down, get you a screw going. The way I do it is like this. Yep, there's one. And two. Okay, now this is going to be a little difficult part. Sometimes I can get them right away, sometimes it takes me a minute. This antenna port, it should basically be right where it needs to be, but it does need to be moved up just a hair. You take your thumbnail, and most of the time you'll feel it snap, or you'll get it right in place and it'll snap down on there for you as you're pushing down. I wish it went on for you. And does it look like it is on there? It's not. So you just touch it and see it wiggle. That means it didn't take. So push up just a hair and press down. I think I heard it snap there. We'll see. Nope, it didn't. And press over. Oh, no, getting on. And if that fails and it just don't want to do for you, then it's time to break off the tweezers. You grab it. Alright, let's see how we did. And voila, we have apple. And there we go. Our battery touch is working. Everything looks fine. Home button's working. And there we go, successful on the conversion kit. Yeah, there you go. This is brought to you by FlashTechLLC.com. Check them out. Really great prices. That's where I order from, and that's where this came from. And you see, it worked the first time. They check everything before it leaves before it leaves their hands. And I have had them contact me before to let me know, hey, this part didn't work. What do you want to do? And I thought that was very cool. So my name is Dennis with iFix Phones, and hope you enjoyed it. If so, throw me a like, and we thank you.